Chapter 4. Earth Person learns to see from outside himself. Earth Person. I've been thinking about when you told me that one way to see like a Martian is to step outside myself and see myself as if I were a disinterested observer. I really don't understand how that can be done. It involves seeing yourself in the world. You and the world around you simultaneously. Huh? Well, what's happening right now? What do you mean? How would you describe what's happening between us right at this moment? I don't know. Okay, let me show you. Just now, you said you'd been thinking about seeing yourself from outside yourself. You said you didn't understand how it could be done. I responded by asking you, how would you describe what's happening right now? Then you asked me what I meant. I repeated my question in a different way. I asked you to describe what was happening between us, to which you responded, I don't know. Then I started demonstrating how to do it, which I'm doing now. And now I'm stopping. And at the same time, describing the fact that I'm stopping. See? That's how you do it. Oh, now you do it. It should be easy. No, what do you mean? Well, you just saw how I did it. So I'm suggesting that you give it a try. That all went by pretty fast. Could you do it again? Sure. When I asked you to try to see if you could do it, you chose not to try, but rather to ask me to show you again. You said the first time I went too fast, so now I'm showing you again. Since you look somewhat puzzled, I have a hunch you'll either do it for yourself right now, or you will give up. Well, in addition, I sense that as I continue to talk, you're beginning to build up frustration within yourself, and you may not feel comfortable asking me to show you many more times. In fact, if you don't decide to do it now, you probably won't get around to trying it again for quite a while. Oh, now I see it. Wow, I was just about to say I didn't understand. I was about to back off until you said I might do just that. And all of a sudden, I did understand. But it wasn't because of your words. I was watching you as you demonstrated. And I suddenly saw you were describing what was going on between us at the very moment it was going on. The description of the event had become the event itself. This awareness hit me all of a sudden, just after you saw me building up frustration within myself. And now, as you listen, I'm telling you how I had this insight. Hey, I'm doing it right now. I'm speaking and describing what I'm saying at the same time. I'm seeing myself from outside myself, and I'm telling you what I'm seeing. Very good. Wow, that's really great. The only thing I can't figure out is how you got me to do it. There's a trick. If you just tried to focus on seeing, you'd probably never see. Most people never do. So I asked you instead to focus on describing what was going on between us. When your mind was intent on describing and not seeing, you learned to see automatically. That's because it's impossible to describe something without seeing. So in the future, when I want to see, I merely need to start describing things to myself? Exactly. And remember always to include a description of what has occurred in the immediate past and your hunch as to what might occur in the immediate future. I see. That's how you actually got me to start describing our conversation. I remember you said you didn't think I'd feel comfortable asking you to demonstrate many more times. As I thought about it, I knew you were right. I kind of decided that it was now or never. And then you did it. Yes, I did. I wonder why. There were only two choices you could make. You could either try it or not try it. I merely made your options clearer for you by stating them. If you'd chosen not to try, it would have been contrary to your earlier decision to see like a Martian. You knew this, and at some level, it was more important to you to stick with your earlier decision. I'm glad you took the risk. Yeah, me too. I can already see myself using this later on. In the middle of an argument, I'll be able to describe to myself what I'm doing, and I'll be able to figure out how the argument might end. Then I'll be able to change the ending, or even stop the argument in midstream. I can think of a half a dozen other uses as well. I'm really going to get a lot out of being able to see myself from outside myself. Comments. You now have a way to examine whatever you're doing at any point in time. A way to see yourself in the world so you can decide whether being where you are, doing what you're doing, or talking to whomever you're talking to is what you really want to be doing. Once you can see where you are, You can decide whether being there is helping you forward your new goals, and if it isn't, you can simply change it. Contrary to what we've been conditioned to believe from childhood, learning isn't always just about collecting facts. From the very first moment we started learning, our parents and teachers ask us questions about what we know, what facts we've learned, and what we think. Even when we're asked how we feel, the question usually means, what are you thinking? Although we're taught that experience is the best teacher, we're usually robbed of the opportunity to develop our own experiential learning skills. This is the first chapter to present something that can be learned only by experiencing it. You can't be told how to see, but you may have begun to sense and experience something of the process for yourself. If you haven't, or if this chapter didn't make much sense to you, or if it seemed extraneous or uninteresting, don't worry about it. Subsequent chapters will approach the issue differently. You may want to wait a while and come back to give chapter 4 another try. If the subject matter did strike you as valuable, you might have noted how Martian frustrated Earth Person to the point where he energized himself to actually see from outside himself. It's very much like learning to swim or dive or ride a bike. There comes a time when you either do it or you don't. Martian got Earth Person to recognize that he was rapidly reaching this now or never point and would need to make his decision shortly. One of the factors that distinguishes a successful life plan or life script from an unsuccessful one is the decision a person makes to arrange his or her life to confront these now or never points along the way. It's the key to experiential learning. To succeed, you will not only need to arrange your life to confront these points frequently, but you also need to decide in favor of now rather than never, almost all the time, and become comfortable with the process.